Power 1 to power 20, we're gonna be progressing the best Shadowcast build in Deepwoken. From winning completely outnumbered fights to taking out fully maxed out builds as a freshie, this progression gets quite crazy. But for now, let's start with Trial of 1. We're in! These are the pre-tron stats that I'm gonna be going with, and they're perfect, I made sure of it. As for my weapon of choice, I'll be going with the Alloyed Scale Splitter, because it is honestly one of, if not the best weapon to pair with Shadow. Now that's the weapon I chose to go with, but you can go with any weapon you'd like. That is what's nice about this build, you can go any weapon, and this build is still gonna be amazing, so yeah. And then I'll be going with the bladeharper oath for reasons you will see later. I can't really explain why now, but with the right synergies and techs, bladeharper is actually just the best oath in the entire game, but you guys will see what I mean. And with Trial of 1 done and me at power 4, I then completed the book quest for free talent and was now ready to do my first Voidwalker bounty, where I lost half my health from one attack and died into it. Okay, alright, let's take this bounty instead. Should be a bit easier because holy, I died in 3 hits, genuinely. Okay, that's him right here. Put him in combat, there you go. Nice, little uppercut. Catch his roll with Dark Blade into crit, there you go. Uppercut, Pusher's max. Dang. Into crit instantly. Oh, he parried that, damn. Gotta give this guy props, he's actually pretty decent. Into clutching. And he is dead. GG's to him. With that kill, I now had enough XP to train all the way up to 40 willpower. I chose to train in my guild base for a very simple reason, which live commentary me will explain right now. And guys, when I train like my willpower or my fortitude, I always like to do it here. You should probably do it too, because you can clearly see someone void walking you if you're standing right here. Like, you have more than enough time to either heal if you see them coming through or just straight up log. So yeah, this is a great place to train your fortitude and willpower. And so that's what I did, all the way until I reached 40 willpower and leveled up to power 6. I picked Disbelief and Underdog, which were both talents that I needed to get pre-shrine. And then I picked Sing since it could help me combat tag my bounties. Now I'd like to say that not all matches I'm picking for now are matches that I'm gonna end up sticking with for the finished build. In this case it was Sing, but this will be a reoccurring theme throughout the progression, so do keep that in mind. And with that done, I headed back to Woodheart to look for more bounties, but there weren't any interesting ones, so I ended up just server hopping. And the moment I joined a new server, this happened. Okay, and we're getting jumped by a max level, bro. Like, what? Now this fight does get pretty intense, so make sure to stay locked in. Okay, we got nice damage right there. Everything just does so much damage, it's crazy. But I don't know why every single progression, I know a lot of you guys are new here, but every progression I get jump on the max level. Or I get jumped by max level, but we are frying this guy. Into shotgun. Okay, that barely missed him. Nice. Oh, we did. I didn't have ether there. I tried to use shotgun. Nice. This guy's actually, he's pretty low right now, I think. Little M1 chain. And I'm lagging, oh my god. No, am I gonna die because of the lag? I keep missing my shadow gun, so nice. But we actually do no damage. Okay, he's low items, or he's low rather. Into clutching, crit, bang. Oh my. No, bro! Oh my god, are you kidding? I almost won that. And after almost losing to a power 6, they of course had something to say. What is this guy talking about? I hit him a million times, what? Okay, I'm not gonna get rage baited. Oh, he's... Okay. Wow, I did not have to leave because I was low-key already stained. But yeah, I don't know what's with people just jumping freshies, bro. So after that unlucky encounter, I escaped the depths, and I kid you not, the literal moment I got out, this happened. Okay, the moment I joined the server, I got jumped by max level. Wow. Now this fight was very slow paced, so I'll be skipping through most of it. But just know that I wasn't about to let myself get freshly gripped again. That was so corny. Oh, yo, I just kicked him up. Now normally anyone would die there, but he happened to have a Tyrant Pendant equipped, an item which cancels out all fall damage. And since I didn't have one, I couldn't just drop down to him. I had to slowly climb down in order to chase him. But while I was busy doing that, he was actually healing off mobs next to him. Eventually though, I caught up. Nice. Keep in mind that since I was less than a bar of health fighting a max level, one mistake would mean certain death. But that didn't matter since he did this. Yo! Where even... Oh, he fell all the way down, yo. I think he died, but bro, I don't have a fall damage cancel. I can't go down here. And while I was assessing the situation for a good 10 seconds, I realized that... Oh, I'm stupid. I should have just Warriors Despited. Oh, nah, I'm dumb. I should have just Warriors Despited and dropped down. I ended up still doing it, but I lost out on a ton of HP trying to figure out what to do. And when I deemed that I had enough health, I decided to use my glider to go down and hopefully finish the kill. Nice. And he's dead. GG's. But yeah, with that kill, we should be getting a ton of XP, okay? That guy was a max level, fully maxed out build. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, my commentary for that fight was not the greatest. I had to lock in for that one. It's like, I only have 250 HP. I have no like kit or anything, so any mistake I make leads to me losing half a bar, if not more. Sometimes I lose a bar per hit. And after yapping for 20 seconds straight, I then trained my fortitude all the way up to 30 and was now power 8. And that is 30 fortitude done. So once I get the talents that I'm missing, we're gonna be ready to Shrine of Order. And I'm pretty sure that the only talent that I'm actually missing is Perseverance. So that's the nice thing about this build, it's really easy to prog. But I barely had enough time to breathe, as just before I could even leave my guild base, I got jumped again. And I'm getting bored. Okay, nice, convenient timing. Should be fine. This guy also had, yeah, he does have a teammate, so we're gonna get 2v1. That's fine with me. Nice. Oh, I messed up there. I tried to M1, but I rolled instead. Alright, this guy's low items. I keep missing my shadow gun, bro. Okay, we actually knocked one already. What? This guy died in one hit. Nice. We finally hit the shadow gun. Hit him so he doesn't get back up. Nice. And this guy should be dead pretty soon. He is dead. Okay, let's grab this person right here before. And now let's grip this guy. So that's nice. We should be getting a ton of XP from this. That was a 2v1. After winning that fight, I then headed over to Eastern Luminate and sailed all the way to Meteor Isle so I could reroll for the talents that I was missing. And once that was done, we were now ready to Shrine of Order. Okay, we're here. Let's put a point into Agility and Medium. And we can now just use the Shrine of Order. There we go. And on screen are going to be the push shrine stats that I'm going to be going with. And the thing about this build is when you Shrine of Order, the only thing you really go for is Fortitude. And then the rest is Medium and Shadowcast. So it's really easy. And we're also going to go to 20 Intelligence just to get Lightspeed Reflexes. Which honestly, I'm going to do that now. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is since we have a lot of leftover XP because we killed a max level, I'm going to train my Fortitude up to 50. So when I do bounties, I don't die in 2 hits. Because I'm not gonna lie, the damage we're taking right now is insane, bro. We take way too much. Okay, we're getting blood ones. Okay, I can't even talk. And this dude actually has a max level weapon, so it's interesting. I hit him with this, nice. uppercut into crit, guard break him. Yeah, as you can see, we just took half a bar from one single M1, bro. It's crazy. Also, it doesn't help that my internet has been like very bad recently. Like I keep lag spiking in fights. So since we take so much damage, I can straight up lose half my health from one single lag spike. Nice little damage there into crit. Wait, how's he already dead? And even though that person died a bit faster than I expected, he was still fairly high level. So therefore, we now had more than enough XP to train all the way up to 5042. Alright, and that is 5042 done. I also got a bunch of really good matches that are going to be very helpful for bounties like Revenge and Shoulder Bash. Those are going to be amazing. And I also trained up my weapon a bit so I could equip this enchanted katana. With all that done, I headed back to Voidheart so I could start doing bounties again. My first one was Hoizeref, a 5-star bounty while I was a 3-star. Let's see what happens. Okay, he actually does want to fight us. That's nice. Nice uppercut. Nice parry from him. Hit him with Dark Blade. Oh, he caught it up. He caught us off it. Paint that into this crit. Nice. Huge damage. I hit him with Clutching Shadow. Oh, he parried that. Okay. Turn it around. Paint that. This guy's actually really good. I'm not gonna. Oh, I pulled out my weapon of accident. Hit him with Revenge into Clutching. Nice. Chilling proc on him. Feint that. Boom. Turn it around. Crit. Oh, we had a low lag spike there, but we actually did hit him with the crit. And that crit does a lot of damage, guys. The katana crit, it really does hurt. Feint that into crit again. Nice. Uppercut. And he should be dead like really soon. He's low items. Feint that into this. Boom. Damn, I keep lagging. It's crazy. And he's dead. GG's. With Fortitude out of the way for now, I then started training my Shadowcast. Given I landed a lot of matches that fight, I was able to train my Shadow a lot and power up to 11. I took to the finish, Safety Dance, and finally Base Collapse so I could get all Bastion talents for reinforced armor. I then tried to train my Shadow again, but I couldn't, so I chose to train my weapon instead. Bro, I find it funny how right now I'm doing everything perfectly, but it says you did well, you know you can do better. Bro, I did everything perfectly. I made no mistakes. Because sometimes it does say like your flawless performance inspires you to do better. It's interesting. I wonder if that actually plays a factor as to how much weapon you're getting. Because if it does, then that's actually kind of annoying. I kept training my weapon all the way until I powered up again, where I grabbed Exoskeleton, froze Dark God, and picked Observation. And as for my mantra, I picked Shade Devour, an amazing support mantra which the finished build uses. I then headed back to Voidheart where I took my next bounty, a max level Bladeharper. And disclaimer, since any mistake would mean me losing 20% health, there won't be much commentary this fight as I had to lock in. This guy's actually really good for a PvP. I mean, I don't know if he is a PvE. Maybe he just has the astral enchant because he's like in a PvE place. Okay, we killed him. Nice, GG's. And yeah, that dude was a max level. So with that kill, we should honestly be able to go all the way up to like 60 medium or even 75. And after training my weapon for 15 minutes straight, 75 isn't quite what I managed to reach. But I now had 55 medium and was power 13. I then wanted to train my Shadowcast up a bit in order to level up again, but and we only got one singular point. That is crazy, given I was using a lot of Shadow Mantras. So knowing this, it was time to take my next bounty. Alright, so this dude right here is one of my bounty. And since I value your time, I'll keep it real. He didn't put up much of a fight. And he's running, okay. Oh, he hit me with the classic hit and run. But We killed him. GG's. Alright, let me get my weapon up a bit more, but I'm gonna sell my inventory because I felt that in the fight. Obviously, you're not gonna be able to tell from the recording, but bro, I felt really slow. I was like heavily weighed down. After having done that, I trained my weapon again until I leveled up to power 14. Alright, we powered up. Nice. Where I unfortunately got 2 pretty mediocre talents. Luckily though, I rolled Shadow Eruption, which, if you didn't know, is one of the best Shadow Metra in the entire game. But with me being tired of training my weapon, I decided that, okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use some of my free training, get all the way up to 75 medium, and I'm gonna get my oath, my bladeharper oath. I'm just gonna get it now. I don't really want to keep it waiting too long, you know? And let's train my shadow up a bit. Okay, again, we only got a single point. That is crazy. I then sailed to Songseeker Wilds, where the first statue which I needed in order to obtain my oath is located. And the moment I set sail, this happened. Oh. I did not know that one tap posture. Okay, I do want to get on the ground though. Hit him with this, nice. Paint that, bang into. We ran out of ether there. But ether is such a problem nowadays. Like, it's crazy. It's not the build. It's genuinely the game. Like, they murdered the temple gain and stuff. It's pretty bad. I don't like what they did. Or not the temple gain, but just every Metra's like takes so much ether now. It's crazy. Paint that again into uppercut. Nice parry from him. Okay, I'll save you some time again. He ended up just running around for 2 minutes straight, spamming mantras and just playing insanely weird. Like, I don't get how I'm the one that's out of ether when he's running like this. Like, do you see this? He's the one that's just running, maging around, but he's not out of ether. Like, what? But I am. Like, that does not make any sense, bro. But we killed him. And I didn't even get to kill him, bro. Wait. I wonder if that's his friend. Bro, again? Yo! Oh my god, what do these guys want? Can't catch a break, bro. This guy's gonna try to steal the grip, isn't he? Yeah. Yo, it's like, bro, holy. Nice. This guy should be bleeding out pretty soon. Nice, we killed him and killed this guy too. Nice. Hey, from that we're gonna get a ton of XP, bro, because that's 2 Voidwalker kills. Yo, that is crazy. After gripping those 2, I went back to what I was originally here for, which was obtaining bladeharper. On my way there, I also trained my shadow and powered up to 15, where I picked swift rebound and evasive expert. And after yapping for ages, which I'll save you the trouble of hearing, I won't lie, people hate on Deep for like it's like actually like progressing like for like all the like yes, Deepwoken but and stuff. Like, that's just my take on it. I interacted with the statue, fought my reflection, and obtained bladeharper. Now, if it was any other oath, I would just skip the progression for 10 knowledge and save myself a ton of time, but I'm gonna try talking to this NPC, and yeah, there's just no option to skip the progression, which is very annoying. Which means that in order to progress my oath, I now had to sail all the way to the Etrian Luminant and climb up a giant pillar, despite me having already done it 20 different times on this account. I reached the top, interacted with the statue, and beat my reflection again, which gave me some of the bladeharper talents. And finally, I sailed to Etris and headed near the palace, where the final statue was located. I beat my reflection one last time, and now had bladeharper fully progressed. Now, typically, in all of my progressions, I would do bounties all the way until I reach power 20. But since my internet has been absolutely terrible, and the devs had also introduced an April Fool's update which made doing bounties pretty much impossible, I decided that I would just progress normally until the build was finished. I trained my shadow until I was power 17, and then I sailed all the way to Bullman's Watch so I could fight Fairyman and uncap my weapon. After beating Fairyman, I powered up to 18 where I took the Slice and Dice mantra. Now, I'm about to explain an essential tech which, if you plan on making this build, you have to do. So make sure that you pay attention. I trained my weapon to 80 and then I made Slice and Dice level 5. After which, I headed to the Shrine of Mastery in Starstruck Valley and took 3 points away from my medium weapon. By doing this, I now had Slice and Dice at level 5 even though I did not have 80 points into medium, meaning that I now had 3 free points which I could spend it anywhere. Again, since this build is perfect down to the point, this is something essential that you have to do if you want the build to be as good as possible. With that done, I then trained up at Fortitude until I powered up to 19, where I picked Fear the Dark, turned my for the free HP, and finally Shade Wisp as my mantra. I then sailed back to Fairyman so I could this time uncap my Shadowcast. Once I beat him, I chained my Shadow up to 80 and had now reached max level, power 20. After which, I chained my Fortitude up to 90 and then did a bunch of min-maxing, which brings us to now. And yes, I've been sitting at this campfire for the last 20 minutes telling you the story of how this build was progressed. These are all the talents that I went with. Feel free to pause and take a screenshot if you need it. You don't really need to do that though, as the build link will be down in the description. As for my gems, I went with a Bloodless Gem on Clutching Shadow, Bloodless Gem on Decimate as well, Blue Gem on Rising Shadow, Bloodless on Shadow Meteor, since each Meteor actually heals you 3%, which is crazy. Wind Gem on Shoulder Bash, Bloodless on Umbral Slash, Blessed Gem on Shade Devour, Blue Gem on Shade Step, Aegis Gem on Shadow Eruption, make sure to get one if you don't have one as it is pretty OP, Bloodless Gem on Slice and Dice, and finally Blue Gem on Shade Wisp. As for my modifiers, I actually didn't go with any modifiers on any mantras excluding Shade Wisp and Shade Devour, and I guess I forgot to put it on Shade Devour, but you want to go Blast Spark on it as it makes the mantra pretty OP. And for Shade Wisp, I just went 3 Aeon and 3 Eternals. For my outfit, I went with Prophet's Cloak for both the mantra pen it grants, but also for the ether regen, because right now, as I said earlier, the game is in a crazy ether drought, so having more ether regen is always appreciated. For my traits, I went with 4 in Vitality, Erudition, and Proficiency. That's what I found to be the best, but you can always change it up if you'd like. And finally, for my enchant, I'm not actually going Nightbringer, I'm going Blazing. I just don't have it equipped right now because it doesn't really go well with my drip. But Blazing is pretty much the meta enchant right now. It is the best enchant in the entire game. It just leads to so much free damage. Now, if you remember earlier in the video, I mentioned how Bladeharper is one of, if not the best oath in the entire game. And now I think it's a pretty convenient time to cover what I meant. What makes it broken isn't necessarily its mantras, although they're pretty good. No, what makes it broken is its passives. They are insane. Namely, Lith Step. This passive right here is actually just ridiculous. Because for some reason, you can M1 and use mantras during it and completely hide the animations. The main thing I like to do is Lith Step into Uppercut because it is just unreactable and it also makes it deal more damage. It's also really easy to do. All you have to do is just run, and while you're running, you just roll cancel and uppercut, and it allows you to do it. It's very easy to do, and that tech alone makes Bladeharper the most broken oath in the game, in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for this build. Very soon after this video comes out, I'm actually going to be live streaming myself going from 800 elo to top 50. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss when that happens, or so you can catch the VOD. And with all that said, see ya.